Hello and welcome, you're watching Violin Lounge TV, and in this episode I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for beautiful pianissimo bowing at the tip without shakes and scratches and that kind of stuff. Tip number 1 is to relax your right arm and shoulder. Really keep your shoulder low. If you have difficulty with that, then pull up your shoulder and let it fall down. And pull it up, let it fall down. In that way you can find a natural position of your right shoulder when it is relaxed. You can do the same thing, by the way, with your left shoulder. Then also make sure that your right arm is really relaxed and heavy. A lot of people have difficulty with bowing at the tip with a relaxed arm because it can be quite a stretch. So it might be a bit harder to relax in this position than in this position. The second tip I would like to give you is use all the bow hair. That means that you shouldn't tilt your bow to the front, but that the stick should be right above the hair. Also make sure that your bow is rosined until the very tip. The third tip I would like to give you is to maintain a good sound with core. Playing piano or pianissimo doesn't mean that you have to create a superficial sound. So transfer the weight from your arm through your index finger into the bow. So play with the weight and use a slow bow speed. So don't do this, but really have a nice sound with core, even in pianissimo. The fourth tip is if you do all this and it sounds a bit too loud to you and you want to play softer, then change the contact point towards the fingerboard. So you don't bow right between the fingerboard and the bridge, but you move your bow a little bit in the direction of the fingerboard, or you are even above the fingerboard, and that gives a totally different sound. Or and you can do everything in between. The fifth tip is about smooth bow changes. You probably learned that you should bow straight, and that's something that I tell you in a lot of my videos, and perhaps your teacher tells you that all the time as well. But at the very tip, at the extreme tip, you are allowed to bow a little bit that way to smoothen the bow change at the tip. It's the difference between this and this. Depending on your taste, you can do it a little bit more or a little bit less. So in summary, here are the 5 tips. The first tip is to relax your right shoulder and arm. The second tip is to use all bow hair and make sure it's rosined. The third tip is to maintain a good sound with core. The fourth tip is if you want to play even softer, then move your bow a little bit towards the fingerboard. The fifth tip is to not bow completely straight when you are at the extreme tip. I'd love to hear from you what tip has been most useful to you. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching Violin Lounge TV, and I hope to see you in another video. If you go to my website, violinlounge.com, you can find over 250 free violin lessons. Enjoy!